Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Government House. My name is Hugh Borroman. I have the honour to be the official secretary to Her Excellency the Governor. I'll be the Master of Ceremonies today. This is the first of 6 ceremonies we'll be holding to present Australian honours, most of which were announced on Australia Day 2023. Today we also have the privilege of presenting some medals from the Royal Humane Society as well. If you are able, I would invite you please now to stand and remain standing for the playing of the Vice-Regal Salute.
Good morning everyone and welcome to Government House for what is a very special occasion. Gana Bogana Alia, Gana Miana Alia, Yaitcha Miana Alia, Kumatana Yartananku. I acknowledge that we're meeting on the traditional lands of the Ghana people and I pay my respects to the elders. Rod and I very much want Government House to be a house for all South Australians, and whether you have been here before, some of you have even, I know, been previously to investiture ceremonies, whether you've been before or whether this is your first time, we very much want you to feel at home here. I obviously congratulate and will have a chance to speak individually to the recipients of awards in the Order of Australia today, but we want you please to feel, if you can, as comfortable today as you have been every day giving the outstanding service that we'll be recognising. I know this day can feel like a long time coming, and yet at the same time the ceremony will be over in an instant. So please enjoy every minute of it. The Order of Australia is something very special actually. As a community we often make awards to citizens, awards to local heroes, awards to all sorts of people. But the Order of Australia is our national honours scheme. It recognises outstanding service, exceptional achievement, and that's something that those of you who are sitting in the front section, family members and friends, the people award recipients love and really want to be here. That's something that you've seen every day. But today you will all gain an understanding of the bigger picture, I suppose, of broader community service, of awards in all sorts of categories, some of which you'll be familiar with, and today, exceptionally, some bravery awards as well. It's a special day too because, as the Official Secretary has acknowledged, we have some official guests with us, but we have a representative of the Premier. We indeed have a former Premier representing the Leader of the Opposition. The Lieutenant Governor is here, the Service Chiefs are here, the Commissioner of South Australia Police. Also today, for reasons that will become clear, we have the Chief Officer of the Country Fire Service, the President of the Royal Humane Society of Australasia. We actually have the person sitting in the front row, not known to many of you, Rick Morris, who will have waded through thousands of pages of applications and taken the names of South Australians to Canberra, where the Council for the Order of Australia debates and discusses and ultimately decides these things. So we have a number of people here who've got specific roles to play, including heading the Order of Australia Association. Because once you've been invested, you are a companion, an officer, a member, a recipient of an Order of Australia medal or a range of other awards today. And that puts you in a very special group of people. I hope it also will put you in a group of people who will proudly use your post-nominals. You've had a little while to get used to the idea since the honours list was released in January. I hope you will wear on suitable occasions your medals, your miniatures, your pin, because the community should know about your service. And even though many of you are reluctant, possibly very modest about it, We typically have people who, when they are notified of these awards, think it can't possibly be real. Of course it is real, and it all adds up to something quite extraordinary. The final thing I want to say really is you are all here today because someone nominated the person you're here to support, or in the case of those receiving awards, someone nominated you directly. These awards come about because Australians nominate people whose service they recognise as outstanding. So please, for the future, bear that in mind. Nominate, be willing to nominate people yourselves, encourage others to do so. There are many more Australians, including here in South Australia, worthy of recognition. Official Secretary, over to you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, the following recipients are appointed as members in the General Division of the Order of Australia. Mr. John Jarrett is recognised for significant service to community health and to veterans and their families. Mr. Jarrett has devoted decades to mateship. He initiated the annual Missing in Action service to honour the memory of the 43 Australians who never returned home from Korea, as well as the annual reunion lunch of the few remaining veterans and Korean nationals on the 27th of July to commemorate the cessation of hostilities. He was a veteran representative to the Department of Veterans Affairs commemorative mission to Korea in 2012 and was awarded a medal by the South Korean government. Through Mr. Jarrett's efforts, those who served in what has become known as the Forgotten War will not be forgotten. Mr. John Jarrett. The late Mr. Barry Ewan Presgrave is recognised for significant service to veterans and to emergency service organisations. Mrs. Wendy Presgrave, wife of the late Mr. Presgrave, will accept the award. In 1988, Mr. Presgrave received a Medal of the Order of Australia and, in the past 30 years, has built on his commitment to the community, for which he is now recognised by the award of Member of the Order. Mr. Presgrave was a member of the National Servicemen's Association's National Council and its National Public Officer. From 1994 to 1998, he was the Association's inaugural National President. He was the President of the South Australian branch of the Association, sitting on the board for 26 years, including a term as President. Mr. Presgrave was also a former President and Board Chair of the Australasian Institute of Emergency Services and former Vice President and Board Member of the Australian-New Zealand Blue Light Federation. He was a life member of the West Beach Surf Lifesaving Club, serving as its president from 1997 to 1998, and also a Justice of the Peace. The late Mr. Barry Ewan Presgrave. His Honour Judge Ralph Sulio is recognised for significant service to multicultural affairs, to the judiciary and to the community. Mr Sulio made history as the first judge of Albanian heritage in Australia and is now approaching 2 decades as a judge of the District Court of South Australia. A champion for the Albanian community, Judge Sulio chairs the Australian Migrant Resource Centre of South Australia and, previously, the Australian Multicultural Council. He is the Honorary Consul of Albania in Adelaide and also chairman of the judging panel for the Governor's Multicultural Awards. He is chairperson of the Cultural Diversity Justice Network, providing judicial support to over a quarter of the Australian population born overseas, ensuring that they are treated equally before the law. Judge Sulio's work has improved the quality of life for migrants through both access to government services and representation in policies. A love of soccer has led him to undertake roles as President of the Football Federation of South Australia and Deputy Chairperson of the Asian Football Confederation. He is also involved in the Court of Arbitration for Sport, where he helps settle sports-related disputes. His Honour Judge Ralph Sulio. Your Excellency, the Conspicuous Service Cross is awarded to the following recipient. Brigadier David John Smith is recognised for outstanding achievement in the development, acquisition and support of critical combat and non-combat equipment for soldiers, sailors and aviators as Director General Integrated Soldier Systems Branch. Brigadier Smith has led a multidisciplinary team of nearly 500 Australian Public Service, Australian Defence Force and contracted staff responsible for the procurement and integrated logistic support of all ADF personnel equipment. He has demonstrated exceptional performance over an extended tenure as Director General Integrated Soldier Systems Branch. His leadership, professionalism and superior commercial acumen underpin the acquisition and sustainment of world-class personal equipment for soldiers, sailors and aviators, vital for high performance and protection in complex and dynamic operational environments. This exemplary outcome, particularly in the Women in Combat program, delivered for the first time combat equipment and uniforms designed specifically for women. Brigadier Smith guided an organisational and cultural reform strategy, ensuring that demanding project milestones were consistently met. He was also Deputy Commander of Combined Team Aruzgun in Afghanistan during 2011, and for 2 years was Commanding Officer, 2nd Battalion, Royal Australian Regiment, based in Townsville, Queensland. Brigadier David John Smith. Your Excellency, the Australian Police Medal has been awarded to the following recipients. Superintendent Guy Buckley is recognised for distinguished service to the community within the South Australia Police. Superintendent Buckley has served SAPOL for 40 years in significant roles, including the Tactical Staff Force, Officer in Charge of Emergency and Major Events, and Staff Officer to the Commissioner and Deputy Commissioner. He has also provided exemplary leadership to frontline operational members as Operations Manager and Officer in Charge of Holden Hill Local Service Area and, since 2018, Officer in Charge of Northern District, where he has offered guidance, advice, direction and leadership to frontline staff during a period of significant organisational reform. Proactive in establishing positive and effective working relationships with local members of Parliament and councils within the Northern District, he's enabled SAPOL to work collaboratively with the community to reduce and prevent crime. He's displayed an innovative mindset with the trial of employing nurses in police custody facilities at Elizabeth, now a permanent feature in the metropolitan area. Superintendent Buckley's vast policing experience and renowned ability to provide strong, effective and positive leadership has delivered positive outcomes for staff and the public, which has been integral to SAPOL achieving safer communities. Superintendent Guy Buckley. Senior Sergeant Carly Marie England is recognised for distinguished service to the community within the South Australia Police. Senior Sergeant England's significant contribution to teaching others has created a lasting legacy within SAPOL. She has been integral to the success of several significant training projects, supporting an environment that is rigorous, developmental and fit for purpose, and enables frontline police to provide services to the community in times of emergency and disaster. Her own service across SAPOL includes general patrol duties at Port Adelaide, a posting at the Licensing and Gaming Advice section, Child and Family Investigation section, Communication Centre and Sexual Assault Unit. Her broad organisational knowledge has been gained through positions in the Constable Development Unit, Learning and Development Services, and as a Training and Development Coordinator. Exhibiting initiative, exemplary leadership and a sustained commitment to quality training and assessment, Senior Sergeant England has delivered substantial improvements to the design, development, coordination and management of training across SAPOL. Senior Sergeant Carly Marie England. Senior Sergeant First Class Paul Joseph Kameniar is recognised for distinguished service to the community within the South Australia Police. Senior Sergeant First Class Kameniar's leadership, strong drive and desire to improve employee well-being has directly contributed to the overall health of SAPOL and its capacity to provide effective service delivery in the community. He advocates tirelessly for initiatives and support for programs that improve the physical and mental health of employees. Senior Sergeant Kameniar has been responsible for establishing a range of successful initiatives, including the Fitness Passport, the Reconditioning Program, Operation Nutrition Support, and the My Health, My Wellbeing website. His own operational service includes local service area intelligence positions, strategic projects and traffic services, before becoming the Health and Wellbeing Coordinator in the Health, Safety and Welfare branch. His leadership, strong drive and desire to improve employees' health and wellbeing has directly contributed to the overall health of the organisation and its capacity to provide effective service delivery to the public. Senior Sergeant First Class Paul Joseph Kameniar. Your Excellency, the Conspicuous Service Medal has been awarded to the following recipients. Major Larissa Marie Cody is recognised for meritorious achievement in leadership and management at the Australian Defence Force Academy. Major Cody completed a Bachelor of Civil Engineering at the Australian Defence Force Academy and has completed 14 and a half years service in the Army. She is an officer of remarkable ability who has demonstrated consistent, outstanding leadership and empathy as the Divisional Officer for a first-year division of Navy Midshipmen, Army and Air Force Officer Cadets, and as Staff Officer, Army, at the Australian Defence Force Academy. She displays a strategic appreciation beyond her rank level and experience and has proven to be an outstanding role model to trainee officers. Her leadership style pairs friendliness with high expectations, and her considerable regimental and staff experience have been expertly employed to inspire and motivate trainee officers. Her advocacy of STEM capabilities and her coordination with the Royal Military College on Army Single Service Training has had a demonstrably positive impact on trainee officers that will flow across defence. Major Larissa Marie Cody. Warrant Officer Kane Shannon Evans is recognised for meritorious achievement in airborne intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance and electronic warfare capability development for the Australian Defence Force. Warrant Officer Evans is an extraordinary and dedicated leader who has significantly advanced the airborne electronic warfare capability of the Royal Australian Air Force. As an airborne electronics analyst, his role includes detecting and processing electronic signals from the aerial environment and establishing ground systems that support the crew on board the aircraft. Warrant Officer Evans has been instrumental in developing, testing and implementing new techniques and training to optimise mission system capability of existing aircraft and improve aircrew proficiency. His professionalism and technical mastery resulted in him being one of only 2 officers to be awarded the highest level of aircrew qualification in the RAAF. Warrant Officer Evans' highly effective negotiation skills, ability to develop relationships and superior skills have all played a critical role in optimising the ADF's future MC-55 Peregrine aircraft. Warrant Officer Kane Shannon Evans. Corporal Anthony John Kunda is recognised for meritorious achievement in development of a video capability in the C-130J Hercules aircraft. Corporal Kunda designed and implemented a low-cost, novel technical solution to provide beyond line-of-sight data transmission in a rapid timeframe, enhancing the capability of the aircraft. His agile thinking and dedication to the task meant that he was able to achieve success at a significantly reduced cost, in the order of $1 million, and to a time schedule 2 years faster than traditional ICT delivery organisations. His meritorious achievement in design and delivery enhances command situational awareness and time-critical decision-making ability during operations. This has achieved enduring impacts on our Australian capabilities in the region. He's delivered superb outcomes through innovative technical skill, coupled with conspicuous dedication to rapidly deliver a cost-effective capability unique to the Australian Defence Force. Corporal Anthony John Kunda. Your Excellency, the Royal Humane Society of Australasia awards the Bravery Bronze Medal to the following recipients. Can I invite the recipients, please, to come forward and stand to the right of Her Excellency? The recipients are Mr. Timothy Cooper, Mr. Dudley Dagg, who's unable to attend and whose award will be accepted by Ms. Cindy McCourt, Mr. Ross Hausdorfer, Mr. Peter Economopoulos, and Mr. Ant Williams. They are recognised for going to the rescue of approximately 400 people from the remote Indigenous community of Ernabella in the APY lands. On the 22nd of September 2017, Mr. Economopoulos was delivering firefighting training to a group of CFS firefighters when a large and unexpected fire broke out near an aged care facility in Ernabella. Dry and windy north to northwesterly winds had created dangerous conditions which rapidly intensified the fire. Mr. Economopoulos took control of the incident, evacuating residents of the community to the local football oval. He was almost engulfed by fire as he tried to protect the aged care facility by backburning to create a barrier. To ensure the safety of the community, the other CFS firefighters, Mrs. Nicolette Ackland, Mr. Ross Hausdorfer, Mr. Ant Williams, Mr. Tim Cooper, and Mr. Dudley Dagg, evacuated homes in Hidden Valley, a housing development, and the surrounding area. They also commenced asset protection as the fire was now on the fence line of properties. All 6 people continued with asset protection and backburning until the early hours of the morning, enduring extreme conditions and suffering from physical and mental exhaustion. Mr. Dagg, the local brigade captain, aged in his 80s, suffered heat exhaustion and collapsed while trying to protect the aged care facility. By the time the fire was extinguished, it had burned more than 100,000 hectares of land. Despite extreme exhaustion, severely limited resources, and exceptionally precarious conditions, including a significant risk to their own lives, the crew successfully protected Ernabella with no loss to life, assets, or infrastructure. I'll now invite the recipients to come forward one by one to accept their awards. Mr. Timothy Cooper. Ms. Cindy McCourt from the South Australian Country Fire Service will accept the award on behalf of Mr. Dudley Dagg. Mr. Ross Hausdorfer. Mr. Peter Economopoulos. And Mr. Ant Williams. Your Excellency, that concludes the presentations for this morning.